Welcome back. My name's Dave, and this is Macaro's Hiding, my N-scale layout. And we're going to continue on with the Craftsman kit that I'm building, the cold storage unit. So where am I now? Okay, I'm gonna go right to this. So I have built the two wings. Basically, they're attached to the larger section, which is a stucco building. These are clapboard buildings, but they have a bit of stucco at the bottom of each one of them. So that's why they're taped off here. And we're going to spray them down with some more of the Tamiya buff color that I mixed up for when I was doing the building. And then we will take the tape off and go on to staining the wood that's there. So I'm just going to step away for a second here, and then Mr. Compressor is up and running. So there's one, and here's the other. And then there's a tiny building that goes on the roof, and it also needs to be painted. All right, so we have that done. And the Tamiya paint dries fairly quickly, so I'm just going to carefully peel off the masking. So earlier today I went to the home hardware store and bought some stain for staining the building's wood siding. Each piece of each bottle of stain cost, I think it was $10. So there's $30 worth of stain here, which I'm going to have to use on other buildings to make it worthwhile spending the money. Okay, let me just grab my scalpel, and there we go. So in order to build these, you have to put bracing on the inside of it, and then it won't warp. And I'm going to show you in a second here. So it's simple like that. The windows go in from the outside, which makes life a little bit easier. The only problem I had with this was, and I know there was a stub like this one. Wait a minute, a little lip stick out thing here. Down here, no hole in the side of the building for it. So I just took a razor blade and so one of them goes there, and the other one goes here, like that. And then the windows go in, and the resin castings that they sent with the kit go on the building. There's all sorts of other things to do. So I decided what I was going to do in terms of color, and I made a test of the stains on a piece of wood I have as a supply for kit bashing, for building my own buildings. And so the frames of the doors and stuff are going to be this darker black color. The doors, the loading doors, are going to be this color, and the windows are going to be this color. This color also is going to be used on all the frames for the window. As the windows, I've already taken one out because I wanted to check how they go together. And I'm going to have to zoom in here, I think, for you to see. Now, let's see. You can just barely see them. Let me see. What have I got here that I could put it on? That would make it a little easier to see. So each window consists of three parts. The actual window itself, a piece of trim that is the same size as the window, and another piece of trim that's bigger than the size of the window. So I'm assuming, and it's a big assumption, that you put these two together and stick them in the building, and then you stick this one on after you've got this one in place. And here are all the windows. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be doing white on the on these. I'm going to be using the gray on the one that goes on top of the window, and the black is going to be the outside trim. Now I've cut these. I cut all of the. I don't think you call them sprues when it's wood, but every section of this is a much bigger piece of wood, and I have cut separate sections out so that they can be painted in different colors. So we want to do one more test here, and I don't want to lose this window because I don't think there are extras. I haven't counted the windows, but there are a lot of windows, and I haven't counted them. So this is what I did just like 10 minutes ago, and you can already see that this is not straight. This has a curve to it, and that's just from putting a little bit of stain on one side and a little bit of stain on the other side. So that's why you need the bracing. And so what I've done is I've got another piece of wood here, and I braced the back of it so that it won't curl up on me. And we will get these paints arranged out here. I'm going to back out a bit. Yeah. And focus. Okay. So I've got 3 separate brushes, just cheap as chips brushes. I bought a large container of these things, and because I don't really need to be using good brushes to do this. So here's the white, and what I've done is these are water base. I got them, like I said, I got them at Home Hardware, and I just want to make sure that the color looks right the way I want it to. So there's that one. Now I put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol in each one of these just to thin them down even more. It doesn't say that you should, but I don't. The stain is meant for furniture, not for model railroading. So so all we're going to do today is this painting, and because doing the windows, like physically doing the windows, is going to be a long, tedious process, and I will try and film some of it while I'm doing it, but I'm not going to do it like I normally do here, which is almost being live on air when I'm doing my videos. I try to do them as much as possible that way. That makes it easier for me, especially when it comes to editing and stuff. So black is obviously very, very strong. And the instructions that come with on the bottle of stain is you put it on, and then you take a soft rag and you wipe it down. And that gives you the uneven, a more worn look to to the wood. So we have a white here that you can barely see, a gray, and a black. So now what we're going to do is, oh, I know what the gray was for. The gray's for the building. So I'm going to get a brush here, and I'm going to load it up, and I'm going to now as I said, I think in the last video I was talking about how you want to read the instructions. So I was reading the instructions, and it said in one sentence, just one sentence. If I had missed it, it would be messed up. They suggest putting the windows in before you attach these things to the building. So now I'm going to come along the side here. And there we have that done. Now it says that you can apply another coat if you want, but you got to wait half an hour to an hour before you do it. So now let's do this building. It really is a matter of reading the instructions very carefully. And as always, with any kit that I build or anything I built for the layout, I will make my own little changes. But this is turning out quite nice. I like this. All right. They also suggest that you apply it in the direction of the grain. I don't know that there really is any grain here for there to be a direction for, but I'm definitely going horizontal with the siding that's on the building. And I definitely am going to do 2 coats. And then here we go on this side. Now, one of the things with the bracing, oh geez, I just about, hold on, I'm going to be careful here right now. Is with the bracing is the instructions have you putting it right up to the top surface on every one of the sides of the building. Unfortunately, if you do that, then they interfere with each other. So you need to step back and trim. So what I did was I did exactly as the instructions told me to put it from top to bottom on the piece of wood, and then once it was built and glued together and almost dry, I Okay, so now this is the bigger one at top. That's going to be black. These are going to be white, and these are going to be gray. So again, just taking the gray and you see this? Yeah, okay. Now the other thing too is that they do supply acetate for the glazing, but the instructions also say that when they built it, they just used a sheet of acetate instead of individual pieces of acetate for the windows, because it makes sense to me, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just very carefully here making sure that I get paint, don't leave any little corners stain, that don't have some stain on them. Okay, so that one's done. So now we'll take a brush here, clean, make sure it's clean. It is. So the next one is the white. And again, I think I'll be doing 2 coats. Now you can literally paint this any color you want it. I just thought of it as an older building for the layout, and we'd give it that kind of look with the gray and the black and the white. So here we go. Again, I much prefer windows like this to some of the kits where the framing for each piece of glass is already built into the building, and you don't get a separate frame. So like I say, what I'm probably going to do here is build them without the outer frame attached, install them, and then put the casing, which attaches to the building rather than attaching to the window. All right, now, where did I put those? I need you, and I need you, because you need to be painted now. Oops, no, that's not what I want. Well, yeah, I want that white. So that's the white done. I got to come back and pick up the gray. No, that's the black brush. What was this one? That's the white brush. Okay, black, white, gray. Because this part of the frame is supposed to be gray. So I have the white frame, gray, and now we're going to do the black. So again, let's grab the paint. The stuff is water soluble, so cleanup is really easy. And if I'm going to just use this on the layout, I'm going to have enough stain here to do hundreds of buildings. So now, just careful, 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 Dave. You don't want to get the black on the white. That would be a mistake. The nice thing about buying this at the hardware store was that they had a sample of every color. So I could pick what I wanted, sort of knowing what it would look like on wood. It's you know, it's one of those things where you buy a paint and you put it on your wall, and all of a sudden you realize, well, geez, that doesn't look like it. I thought it did. Doesn't match what I was hoping for, but this is working really nicely. So as I say, I'm going to do this off camera when I assemble them, because it's going to be tedious. And not the best video in the world. You watch me glue. How many windows is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 22 windows in this building. And now this frame needs to be black. And so here you see the outside frame, the inside frame. Oh, come on, don't stick to my finger. And the actual window itself. Let's just see. Did I put them in a spot where you can see them? I just did. Now, I moved the camera. There we go. So right here, this is the combination of colors that's going to be on the building. So, like I say, I'm probably going to do a second coat of the gray here, but I'm going to have to let it sit for a while. I've got the bottoms now painted so that they match hold on, let it back out there. You can see it down there in the bottom there. Zoom in there. So now we have this side, oh, and we have the little building that goes up here. They provided some castings for a water tower. I'm not keen on the one that goes on here, so I'm going to 3D print my own on this. So that's it for this video, guys. Like I say, it's one step at a time. Read the instructions. I mean, I usually don't read the instructions, especially with plastic kits. I'm a very visual person. I can tell how to put something together quite quickly without really looking at the instructions. On plastic kits, it's just usually 4 walls and a roof and windows, and that's it. Windows and doors. That's quite simple. This is a lot more complex. So, I want to thank you for watching again today. We got a couple of more subscribers this week. I had an interesting week. My wife took a picture of the layout and put it on Facebook. And all of a sudden, we've got 200 and some odd people liking the picture. We have CBC Radio come and interview me. And the town of Espanola sent their media person over. And he interviewed me. Actually, he's coming back to interview me. He was here for an hour and a half and shot 100 pictures of the layout. I have so many pictures of my layout now that I could fill a website with it. I might. I actually do have a website called macarosiding.ca, but it's not an active website. But I think I'm going to make it active. I'm going to put pictures up on there, and people can just go and look at it from there. So, as always, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and I'll see you next week with a video. And again, I'm going to remember to say this. Check the Show More tab, because there will be information about the paints, the brushes, the kit, everything, so that if you want to go out and buy this kit, you'll have a link to it. If you want to buy these Salmon, S-A-M-A-N, water-based wood stains from Home Hardware, you can. I think if you're doing this kind of building, staining is a better way to do it than painting. So, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week, where we continue on to get this building closer and closer to being done. All right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.